When a genius teen snaps. Oh shit. Whoa,
The
whoa, what the
911
fuck?
call you just heard was placed by James Allen Brazell just 6 days before Christmas in 2016 when he heard gunshots coming from somewhere in his family home. Allen raced through the house to find his stepdaughter Ashley and her 16-year-old brother Sonny standing over her with a gun in hand. His wife Nicole screaming in the background, Allen frantically called for help. As haunting as the 911 call was, the interrogation would turn out to be even more chilling.
Yeah, this is the shit I like. I like the shit in the interrogation room where it shows you. Yeah, this is shit.
16-year-old Sonny proves to be one of the most stoic and emotionless suspects we've ever seen. It's hard to reconcile how someone like Sonny, with an IQ of 155 to 160,
Oh shit.
described as highly to exceptionally intelligent, has landed in this seat. When police arrived on the scene, they found the festively decorated exterior of the house masking a horror scene inside. In an exclusive interview, Alan and Nicole Brazell recount what they can remember from that terrifying night. Later, we'll hear from Sonny himself.
Ashley said she was going to go to bed. Sonny was going to go to bed. He'd been awake too all day and at work. So everybody was kind of tired. Alan was already, I think, in the bedroom. I think he came and told everybody good night. I went straight into the room. I just heard and put on my robe. And I think Ashley was going to go ahead and eat some soup that I had cooked. As soon as I go to sit down on the bed, the light's already off in the bedroom, I hear what I think is firecrackers. It's all my mind. Pop, 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 firecrackers. Sonny being such a mild kid and Ashley being, they both were kind of like little professors, responsible kids. They got great grades in school. I know that I bought firecrackers for New Year's Eve. And I'm thinking, I cannot believe one of them let off firecrackers because I hear Ashley say, Sonny, very surprised, in shock. That's all I hear through the door. And then I hear firecrackers. So I throw back on my robe because I don't have clothes. I throw back on my robe. Alan jumps up, and so I go outside. I mean, I am furious. Like, what? Who let off firecrackers in the house? What? I can't even believe they would do this. Either.
That's how you know they not in the hood. This is a very smaller show, but then this is how you know they not in the hood. You know what I'm saying? You think gunshots and firecrackers sound the same? It's crazy.
Either one. I don't even think either one would do it.
I was closest to the door going out into the hallway. And whenever I heard it,
Especially a house like this close in. Yeah.
pretty much immediately I knew what it was, because I am a
country boy.
I'm a country boy, I'm a hunter, and I have guns, and I've always had guns. So I immediately knew what it was.
Okay, so he knows. She's just fucking stupid.
But I didn't put it that it was somebody from in the house, like Ashley or Sonny. I thought somebody had came in the house, like a break-in. So I immediately reached down and grabbed my handgun and started toward the door. And something told me, don't take your gun out there. And of course, you have these conversations with yourself really, really fast. Like, are you crazy? I'm not going out there, because I knew it was gunfire. And I'm like, I'm not going out there without some kind of protection. I heard it again pretty much, don't take your gun out there, put it down. So I put the gun down and I kind of tossed it on the bed and headed out the door.
Nigga bugging. I would have fucking, nigga bugging. I got all that. I got all this. I got all this, chat. And you think I'm not about to go? Yeah, you bugging.
And when I got there, I immediately saw Sonny standing there, and he had a gun in his hand. Of course, I didn't know where he got the gun because it was a Christmas present that I didn't know about. So I yelled at him. I said, Sonny, I said, put the gun down. He was immediately obedient, as he always was. And he leaned down, he put the gun down, and I kind of grabbed him by his shirt and kind of scooted him or slung him over to the side up against the hallway there. And I said, you stand right here. I said, and do not move. He did. He just stood there. He didn't say anything, but he stood there. So we went to check on Ashley. That's when she went in.
This is all in a matter of instant seconds. I'm like, Ashley, because I see I don't realize that I'm still looking for like a firecracker damage. I know this sounds strange, but the mind, I'm still stuck on firecrackers.
It was at this point that Sonny's stepfather rushed back to the bedroom to find his cell phone and call for help.
That exact minute.
But you already kind of low-key handled it.
I guess Sonny bends down, picks up that gun again.
Oh,
it's on the ground. He's a little bit away from it. I have pulled Ashley from the couch, I'm a tall gal, but she was only about 5'5", lightweight. But I tried to pull her from the couch, and I realized he's Sonny's grabbed the gun. He runs to our bedroom. So I start screaming for Alan, oh my God.
Sonny, don't do it. Sonny, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Sonny. I'm not trying to hurt you, son. Don't do it.
This man runs through the house and runs to the bedroom.
Sonny, and he took off to the bedroom, and I turned around and I saw him go to the bedroom. I started toward the door. Sonny had ran around our bed to the furthest point away from the doorway. He was staring straight ahead at the door, but he was trying to change the clip in the gun, to change the magazine in the gun, because he had shot everything out of the first clip whenever he was in the living room. He's holding the gun. He's holding both of the magazines in his hand, and he's not looking down to see what he's doing. And of course, he had never handled this gun before. So by the time I ran over there, he pushed the magazine into the gun, and he stuck the gun up to my chest from where I was at this point in time. I was up right in front of him, and I was fixing to grab a hold of him. And he was just kind of staring straight ahead, and he just started pulling the trigger. He had put the same magazine back in that he started with that was empty.
Stupid. Fucking rookie ass nigga. Jesus Christ. And give him a fucking firearm. And don't even know how to reload the bitch or to have the right. Just fucking idiot. I mean, I give it up to the dad though for, protecting his household and shit. Like, in a stupid way. Fuck that. Cause I definitely would have a gun to your fucking noggin. You already had that shit going. Fuck that. I don't care if you're my kid.
If he had gotten the right magazine, I wouldn't be here today. I definitely wouldn't have made it. And so I snatched the gun and everything out of his hands, and I grabbed him and just kind of walked him into the living room. And
if you don't knock this nigga the fuck out, what the fuck? I knocked this little nigga the fuck out.
The little love seat, and he was kind of looking over the living room where Nikki was still in there with Ashley on the floor.
And he's still in dad mode. He says, sit right there and don't move, which is shocking to me because of the situation. And the most wicked, horrible, heart-trembling, terrorizing thing happened. I'm doing this, and I look up. He's trying to unlock the door so then the police come and get a towel. And I mean, I'm frantic. His eyes are all the dark. Suddenly, now this is someone I've been with just 30 minutes. This is my son, right? We've all been eating and snacking and on a video chat. Everything around here has become dark black. And the voice that comes out of the mouth says, because I'm literally hysterical at this point, I'm screaming, what happened? Ashley, answer me, because there is you would think if a whole clip, right, there would be blood, right? There's none. I'm screaming, Ashley, what happened? What happened? What happened? I hear the most darkest, deep voice say, she can't talk to you, she's dead.
When police finally arrived,
that's fucking wild. This nigga killed his sister in cold blood is crazy, and then turned into a fucking anime villain.
To take control of the scene, they found bullets behind the couch and in the storage drawer beneath it. The gun was found in the master bedroom, where Sonny's stepfather had left it after taking it from him. Police were put in the peculiar predicament of having both a suspect and weapon already established before they arrived. As paramedics raced to save Ashley's life, investigators arrested Sonny Kim and took him to be questioned before he learned his sister's fate. Please note that throughout the interview, police addressed Sonny by his middle name, Christopher. The following never-before-seen footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed professional counselor, a licensed clinical psychologist, and a licensed attorney. Sonny spends a good deal of his time waiting to speak with officers, conversing with himself. While the audio isn't easily discernible, he appears to be talking about computers.
Yeah, it was their top. It was supposed to be. I think it was computer. So it's supposed to be $500 for their Power 7, whatever. Matched speed of 600K.
Oh, this nigga's fucking tweaking. This nigga on something. This nigga's fucking tweaking on something. You see his hands? That's not natural.
Hey, Christopher. Hey, my name's Josh. I'm calling Josh. I'm investigating with Columbia County. How you doing, man? Okay.
In Georgia, a minor may be taken into custody during
And
a
this is in
lawful
Georgia.
arrest. Georgia law states that a law enforcement officer taking a child, or in this case, 16-year-old Sonny, into custody must promptly notify the parent, guardian, or legal custodian about why the child is being brought into
Custodian.
custody. Once in custody, if the police want to question the minor, they may do so without the parent present, as there doesn't appear to be a definitive law that states parents must consent to interrogation of their minor child. While police may interrogate the minor without parental consent, the court will still determine if any statements made under a Miranda waiver are admissible. With this all in mind, the officer is free to get to the heart of the matter. He jumps right in and asks about the victim, Sonny's sister, Ashley.
Tell me about your sister.
Ashley Kim, I think she was 22-ish. She lived in Colorado. She recently broke up, lost her job.
Why is he stating it like that's not his sister? Like, he's stating it like she's another person that's like he's analyzing. Why is he stating it like that?
Broke up with his boyfriend, I think his name is, who it is? She came back over here for Christmas.
Okay.
After attending a concert in Atlanta when she rented 3 days ago, I believe she left, something like that. As far as Ashley goes, that's it. Any particular information?
Chillingly, Sonny
What the fuck?
uses the past tense when discussing his sister, even though he has no way of knowing her current medical status.
So, I mean, has she been in town long?
Only for a few days.
When did she move out of Colorado?
I believe it was like about a year ago-ish. And then she got a job, I think, as a secretary, something along those lines. Yeah, I think as a secretary. Paperwork stuff.
Paperwork stuff, boring stuff, right?
Yeah, sorting stuff, things like that.
I understand.
The officer switches back to asking about Sonny. Just like when he was asked about his sister, Sonny gives a superficial, impersonal answer.
From what I gather, you have a job, you work, and you've already kind of graduated high school.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
16 years old, male.
Stating that he's 16 years old male is a highly atypical manner of speech.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the way he's speaking about himself and like his own sister is that's a weird way of like, yeah, I'm 16-year-old male. Like, what the fuck?
And an
not
indication
normal.
that Sonny may be completely detached from what just happened with his sister.
Right.
Since this description of himself seems to be made in third person.
That's what it is.
Healthcare
Yeah.
is super
He's
important
speaking
for our
like the
family
third
and our
person.
kids. We needed it when our girls were born, and we need it now.
Fuck off.
Where'd you go to high school?
I was homeschooled from most part.
Okay. And then you finished up and taking some classes at GMC?
Yep.
Right. And do you have a job?
Yes.
Where do you work?
Computer exchange.
Do you really?
Yes, on Washington Road.
Been there a couple times. Really nice. Good service over there. Always been pleased with the work that I've had done on my computers.
Notice how intense his eye contact is. Normally, this can be an indication that someone is watching to see if the other person accepts what they're saying, especially in the case of a lie, as someone wants to see if they're being believed. But Sonny has no reason to be looking for acceptance given what he's saying. Instead, this might indicate that he has some kind of social skills deficit, and he's been taught to make eye contact rather than naturally making some eye contact as part of typical conversation. He comes across as robotic so far.
Right.
Here we see the officer once again attempting to connect with Sonny on a personal level by establishing common ground and building rapport. Just like before, though, Sonny doesn't appear to care and does not respond as the officer had likely hoped. With that technique rendered pointless, the officer is forced to ask Sonny more direct questions, and his response is disturbing, to say the least.
I wanted to talk to you about the events that happened tonight, okay? Can you walk me through everything that happened tonight, Christopher? Kind of start at the beginning?
Sure. So I suppose the beginning is yes. A bit of pretext, I suppose.
Okay.
We had planned to get my father a new 1911 .45 caliber pistol. About a week ago, we picked it up from an academy. We were hiding in my room until we could package it and put it under the tree. Basically, not yesterday night, but earlier, I forget, Would it be?
Couple hours ago?
Yeah, a couple hours ago. It's not but
Did this nigga just
This
for-
interaction shows that Sonny
Bitch
may
ass
not
nigga.
be oriented to
Did this nigga forget what happened a couple hours ago that he did?
time, which could be considered typical given the stress of the situation. He may not show any overt signs of distress, but the way he described himself a couple of minutes ago, plus his lack of awareness of exactly when he shot his sister, are indications of emotional distress.
Walked out of the room with the gun loaded. First magazine was the one with the extended grip, 8 rounds in it. Well, there was 7 rounds in it and one in the chamber, and then the second mag in my left pocket. This one here was 7 rounds in it.
In your left pocket?
Yes,
Front pocket or back pocket?
front pocket. I also had a pair of gloves on. Yes, a pair of work gloves-ish. Velcro here-ish and here.
Sonny is clearly a detail-oriented guy, as he describes his gloves. Sometimes suspects may provide these types of unnecessary details out of nervousness and their desire to cooperate with the interrogation process. Sonny must at least be aware that he's in trouble, so it makes sense that he wants to be cooperative. At the same time, his mention of being male and the other details he's provided thus far could also give us a clue as to his personality type. Possibly very rigid and perfectionistic.
Yeah.
After that, I walked out to the living room and I turned left. I saw my sister and I put about 8 rounds into her chest from here, torso.
Sonny says ish again. This also indicates his high degree of rigidity and precision in the way he thinks and speaks. Sonny also maintains his highly formal and rigid
This nigga shot his sister 8 times in the chest is crazy.
manner of speaking, as if he was providing step-by-step instructions to someone or telling a story. He's markedly detached from the actual event. His voice remains even, and he still is showing no signs of overt stress.
After that, both of my parents ran from their bedroom door. I came up the stairs behind the door, held both the gun and the magazine in my hands, and then dropped them on the floor while they were watching me after they come out. My mother rushed to my sister's body. My father started calling 911 or 911.
The way that Sonny
not
presents
laughing
being
at-
really out of touch with reality and definitely out of touch with emotions and empathy is similar to another case, that of Michael Hernandez. Michael told investigators
This one sound familiar. I think I've seen this one like in my own personal time. I remember this nigga.
that he wasn't angry when he killed his friend, Jaime Goff, but that he wanted to try murder.
I was planning to murder. And is there any?
I remember this kid. Yeah. Like him and his friend drove off and I think he tried to he shot him and they fell into a side of ditch or some shit and he just didn't give a fuck.
Specific reason why you planned this? No, there's not.
And once they did that, yes, so the gun was left on the ground. Maybe about 10 to 20 seconds after he started calling, he walked away and I went for the gun and grabbed the extra magazine from my pocket. However, I'm not very skilled in firearms, so I didn't load the magazine correctly and was able to chamber a round. Attempted to shoot my father once, and then I sort of was feigned putting the gun down and then tried to shoot again. Not very good at firearms, so I wasn't able to kill him. But after that,
I wasn't able to kill him. This nigga acting like it's acting like a video game low key.
yes, just took the gun away from me. I sat back down on the couch, waited for them to arrive, basically the whole process of them, tending to sister's wounds. After she came back, she was pulled off on the ground. Yes, and then that's when the police arrived. I was put in cuffs and carried up to the squad car. And after that, for a while after, can't remember what order it was either fire truck or an ambulance ride, but the rest is, basically.
Wow. Okay.
Sonny explains everything in a very distanced way, including his own arrest, as if he's completely detached from the world around him. Depersonalization involves feeling detached from oneself, as if observing one's thoughts, emotions, and actions from a distance. Other symptoms include feeling emotionally numb, disconnected from one's surroundings, and experiencing memory difficulties.
Right.
Sonny makes no effort to hide his intentions either. He references his sister's body instead of calling her by name.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you
Again, at
don't
this
say his sister or like Ashley or nothing. Like, he's just in my sister's body. Like, it's very weird.
point in time, Sonny doesn't know whether she's dead or alive. He also openly admits to trying to shoot his father twice. He could have taken the opportunity to claim he had a change of heart in an effort to potentially look better, but instead admits that he wanted to and would have shot his father if the gun had not stopped working. Unfortunately, there's no other information about why exactly the gun stopped working. Chillingly, he shows absolutely no remorse and continues to sound cold, detached, flat, and methodical.
I just want to know why. Like, certain things, it's just like, why? What makes you somewhat like this? Like, you're smart. You know what I'm saying? You're a smart kid. You probably had a fucking promising future. I would hope so. Your parents seem loving. You know what I'm saying? Didn't seem like his dad was a fucking asshole. I mean, I don't know behind closed doors, but Jesus.
We'll be describing how to put a computer together piece by piece.
When you were putting the magazine into the weapon and chambered the round, what was your plan?
Initially, my idea was kill father, mother, sister in order of threat. So, for some reason, I didn't go
stepdad is his stepdad, but still, either way.
with that. I'm not sure. Suppose I didn't really act the way I was planned.
For some reason, Sonny ranks his family in order of threat. It could be assumed that he means he intended to kill them in order of who was best to...
No fucking shit. He had a plan. He found the biggest threat, which is the dad who has the weapons, the mom who's the second biggest, and the sister. Obviously, this is planned. He planned this shit out. But he just, I don't know, he didn't carry it out right.
equipped to disarm and stop him. But that isn't necessarily true. The officer will have to follow up on this later. For now, though, he lets Sonny maintain his train of thought, and it's important that the interrogator doesn't interrupt once they get a suspect talking. This is because it allows them to get their full, uninfluenced account of what happened, and the interrogation only gets stranger.
And the idea was walk into the bedroom, both parents were either sleeping or resting, kill father, kill mother, and then walk out into the living room and kill her. Order of the magnitude, I forget the word, but anywho, that was the plan. However, I suppose humans act in weird ways, and me being human, I'm susceptible to the same thing. And why I wore the gloves is because I figured my hands would get sweaty, humans, nervousness.
You know humans. This nigga speak like he's an AI.
Humans and such, so I wore them so, I would be able to maintain my grip on the weapon and such. However, still, humans didn't act very smart in a way. Basically, I unloaded all the rounds. I meant to only put 1 or 2 in here, but I don't know, I'd never shot someone before, so they seemed like blanks. Basically nothing.
This nigga speaks like he's an AI bot. Like, he speaks like he's not human.
There wasn't any discernible impact or anything, so I just kept on shooting, and then after that, I walked up to the porch and moved to my parents' door and stood there with, weapon in my right hand,
Right.
and then magazine in my left hand, and then I dropped on my gun.
Nicole Brazel, Sonny's mother, ran an embroidery business out of the house, teaching textile arts to students. His stepfather, Alan, had accepted Sonny like his own son. Sonny's sister, Ashley, was known to be outgoing and had been enjoying her time at college in Colorado. In the 6th grade, Sonny asked his mother if he could drop out of school, in large part because he felt bored. He was homeschooled for a while, and at 13,
That's also a thing, too. No offense to anybody who's been homeschooled, but yeah, this nigga has no social awareness or social of anything besides his family, so yeah. That's probably why he's talking the way he's talking.
he started working for a company who his mother had a contract with, before working at a computer store. At 15, he started at the Georgia Military College. In an exclusive interview, Sonny talks about his childhood in more detail, and about his relationship with his mother and sister.
My biological father left the country and went to Seoul, Korea, and my mother kept us afloat tooth and nail, and she fought for us. Prior to my incarceration,
He's
I
half
was
Asian.
actively working at Computer Exchange and taking classes at GMC. And I was, I suppose, living a good life. I was always provided for, I was always taken care of, and I had loving parents every step of the way. And she got us out of debt. Eventually, we were, a stable household. She met Alan, and, he's a great guy. So I have had a really wonderful set of parents that I don't think I could have asked for.
What the
I
fuck?
owe everything to them. Pretty much everything good in my life that they've been responsible for in some way, shape, or form. Ashley was the bigger sister. She had the kindest heart out of all of us. Ashley got a lot of our kindness. I'm not sure what I got. I lean on her a lot for a lot of things. She was, between her and my mother, they were the only two stable things I really had in my life. Ashley was someone you could always come to, and she was always put together. I could always trust her judgment. I suppose I get my morals from her, She had a real heart for people. I love that about her.
He was her favorite out of everybody, and she was his favorite. They had the most in common. They were both very smart, very high IQs.
Yet Sonny manages to erase all of that personality and all of that love in the interrogation room. This clinical and detached way of speaking appears to be a symptom of depersonalization, which is closely related to dissociative amnesia and dissociative identity disorder, two very serious mental illnesses. There's no anger here, no emotion at all, and no indication that he had major issues with his family. It's almost like he was possessed and is now just describing what he saw. He's speaking like the lights are on, but nobody's home.
I suppose I just saw her and I didn't recognize her as herself, but shot the first person I saw, I suppose. Not a reaction, obviously. I actually did not the way I intended to.
What's his name? The fucking investigator, he just letting him yap. He's like, fuck it. You making my job easy as shit. This is probably the easiest interrogation this man had all year. Shit. He's talking about like, yeah, nigga, all right, fuck it. You want to admit to all this? All right, cool. Shit.
They didn't make enough room or take into account, the way humans act.
Right.
Being mainly me as far as humans go. Yeah. So.
With Sonny so forthcoming regarding the details of the crime, the investigator seeks to confirm what Sonny's stepfather, Alan Brazell, told them about the crime.
When your father went to chase after you in the bedroom, what bedroom was that?
It was the largest bedroom. It's the master bedroom, the one where they sleep.
Okay.
So, yeah, it had a large king-size bed.
And you told me that you had, at that point in time, he had dropped the weapon. And,
yes.
then you reached down and picked it up about 20 seconds later. Is that correct?
It was about 2-3 feet, about a meter away from me.
Right.
So I ran from the couch, grabbed it, and then ran off. And then eventually take the magazine from my pocket.
What were you trying to do when you ran away?
My plan was to grab the weapon and load the magazine and shoot my father. And then shoot my mother.
Okay. And your father ran after you.
Yes.
and caught you in the bedroom.
Yes.
And you did not have a chance to load the magazine at that point in time? Or what happened?
I did load it, but I fumbled with it, and I did load it, but the gun not all the way, though.
You load the wrong magazine like a fucking idiot. Why did you just drop an empty mag anyway? Not like you could have done anything with it.
The second time after I feigned putting the gun down, after he told me, don't do it, etc. After I put it back, I tried to send the magazine back in with the back of my wrist about here,
Right.
And then pull the slide back out, but that didn't solve it either. So he ended up taking the firearm away from me, and then walked back to the living room.
Did you attempt to pull the trigger while he was coming at you?
Yes.
Okay.
Both times.
Both times. And both times it failed to fire. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. And that's when your father caught up with you and took the weapon from you. Did you say anything to him after that, or what happened after he got the weapon from you?
After that, I basically he ran back into the living room, put the gun down on the ground, across the living room, away from the couch where I was sitting, which was red. Oh, see, I believe my parents called it. It was a red couch, I knew. And he placed it on the other side and then helped my mother attend to my sister's wounds. After he put the gun down on the ground, I did consider either running to my room where there was a loaded shotgun or running for the gun.
Oh, this nigga had options. These niggas had guns all over this motherfucker. God damn.
However, I didn't act on either, so I figured my chances were low of getting either done, so I didn't think it was worth it.
With Sonny's confession recorded in more than sufficient detail, we can now tackle the question of why Sonny decided to undertake such unprovoked violence.
What were you thinking about? What made you want to kill your sister and your parents tonight? What's been going on?
Well, it's been pretty good, actually. I've got a job, had classes, it's going pretty well. Yeah, I mean, nothing really bad been happening to me.
Nothing
pretty good fun.
Nothing bad, you just wanted to do it?
Not even want, I just did.
Okay.
What the fuck did that mean? I didn't even want to. I just did. Like, you're, what?
Let's back up. Excuse me, a few minutes ago, we were talking about when you were loading putting the rounds in the magazine, and then loading that magazine into your weapon. And you said that the initial plan was to go to your parents' room and then shoot them first, and then go into your living room where your sister was and then shoot her.
Yes.
What made you deviate from that plan?
I don't know, when I first saw my sister, and the first thought, I suppose, was, I don't know, I was supposed to go to my parents' room and kill father and mother, but I saw my sister, and for some reason, I don't know why, I remember the magazine into her torso.
God damn,
Is there any
nigga.
reason why you want to kill everybody? I mean, did they hurt you?
No.
Have they made life miserable for you? Are they abusive to you physically?
Not now.
None whatsoever. There was no reason for it. It just.
I can think of.
Okay.
Shit don't make no sense.
In 2 words, Sonny provides what could be very important information. If he had been abused as a child, this may give some insight into his detached behavior, as ongoing physical abuse is often the accepted explanation behind pathological dissociative behavior or disorders. This could be in reference to Sonny's biological father, who was allegedly neglectful. But Sonny doesn't elaborate, so the officer tries honing in on a different part of the crime.
What made you want to kill your mother and father?
There wasn't really any motivation for it. Actually, one thing, oh yeah, no, never mind, I told you about, trying to shoot my father and then failing and trying again, never mind. But as far as motivation for killing my parents, none really existed. My father did a lot of the chores, my mother worked quite hard at her job, father assisted, my mother at her job. I mean, we all had a relatively good life.
Right. Did you get a sense of satisfaction when this was going on?
No, I didn't really feel anything.
And your mother was tending to your sister's wounds, like you said, and you were considering, when she was asking you why did you do it?
Did that a number of times.
Yeah, I'm sure. What was running through your mind when she said that?
At the moment, the only thing that I was thinking of really was I had the gun, and then after, I had the gun with shotgun in my room, passed through my mind. I didn't really think of much, but it's just sort of.
You were still in your plan mode of, can I get a weapon and kill mom and dad?
Yes.
Is that what you were thinking?
Yes.
Did that make you happy?
No.
Did it make you sad?
No, I didn't really feel much. It just sort of happened.
Do you have any idea why it just happened?
Not really.
Sonny's answer of not really here is interesting. He actually seems to not understand it himself.
No, I was going to say that an opportunity presented itself to kill my family, and I just did it for no reason, but having had weapons in my room for basically 1 or 2 years now, that's, I've had the opportunity for a while.
Well, why did you decide tonight?
Tonight was, I suppose it was a bit spontaneous.
Yeah, you said a bit
it's
spontaneous.
6 days of Christmas or something like that. But my mother would tell me, I had to have the gun the next day or something along those lines. So I figured the likelihood of her wrapping the gun the next day is fairly high. So I figured now I still have access to the firearm.
Even though Sonny's rationale for committing the crime tonight is disturbing, it still doesn't entirely make sense. Even if the gun had been wrapped and placed under the Christmas tree, Sonny would have still had access to it and multiple other firearms he could have used in the attack.
Is this something you thought about doing for a while, or is this something that you've been thinking about for the past couple minutes?
It was sort of impulsive and not really something I've considered before.
Here, Sonny expresses an impulsive element to his actions, which supports the fact that he may struggle to differentiate between his thoughts and the reality of acting out his thoughts.
What ultimately made you decide to shoot your sister in the chest?
I don't know. Something in my, I can't remember what it was, but something in my mind basically led to me loading the gun, and that, what was it doing?
Something interesting happens when Sonny tries to talk about what was going through his mind in the moments before the shooting. Well spoken up to this point, Sonny starts to stumble over his words.
Got him.
Giving only partial thoughts and attempting to start his sentence over.
Something in my, I can't remember what it was, but something in my mind basically led to me.
When he isn't able to describe what he thought or felt, he reverts to talking about the physical details.
But basically ended up loading the gun, and after the gun was loaded in my bedroom, I walked out. And I suppose at that point, I don't know what I was thinking, but I suppose I just shot her. I don't really have much of an explanation.
Okay. What emotions were running through you when this was going on?
Not much.
Were you happy? Were you sad? Or did you care?
Kind of stood there, I suppose.
Okay.
The stuttering and stumbling over emotional words is likely a sign of anxiety, so he retreats back into the world of dissociated details. This could be due to a lack of comfort or understanding of emotions to begin with.
You think killing your family, it's wrong?
Yes, it is socially and morally wrong.
Okay. And didn't you think you were going to get in trouble if that was to happen?
Yes, I was certainly going to be.
So this nigga, yo, bro, this nigga speaks like he's AI or something.
Anyways.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. Either it was out of curiosity, boredom, or something else.
Chillingly, curiosity or boredom could have very well been the case, as Sonny admits. Although he seems to lack empathy, there's a degree of self-awareness here. When a person lacks empathy, there is little to no attention placed on how another person would feel. The presence of empathy is critical because it is, in large part, what directs moral decision-making. Without it, someone like Sonny may just act on impulse or out of sheer curiosity or boredom. Sonny identifies over and over that he doesn't understand why he did this.
It's just sort of happened. I don't really it's either I don't remember, or I'm suppressing memory, or there is no reason. Getting towards this, there's not really much of a reason. It's sort of like an impulsive action.
You knew you were going to get in trouble.
Yes.
You knew it was wrong.
Yes.
You knew you were going to get caught, but you didn't care.
Yes.
Altogether, the detective interviewing Sonny has acquired a significant amount of evidence. The only remaining missing puzzle piece is the motive. With enough material to charge Sonny, the question of his motive will be left to be uncovered during trial.
God damn you. Don't care.
All right, well, give me just a minute, I'll be right back, okay?
After the officer leaves, Sonny immediately goes back to talking to himself.
Well, no, see, the 1060 would be...
The fuck?
Oh, no, yeah, we moved on from GPUs. It was holding.
This nigga's talking to himself, and not in a way where talking to yourself is healthy, but...
Enzo. No, not Enzo. Vytham. That's what it's called. Andy's new...
If y'all see what I'm seeing... Homie's a fucking brony. God damn it. Homie's a fucking brony. God fucking... This explains all that has to be.
AM4, DDR4, etc. architecture. I can't remember the chipset names. Yeah, the chipset names were really just like, I can't remember what they were. I think it was like, I don't know what it was. Yeah, so DDR4 a bit late. I mean, it's sort of meh, but I don't know.
It only takes 3 minutes for the officer to return and tell Sonny what charges he will officially be facing.
All right, Christopher, you are going to be arrested, okay? You'll be arrested for murder.
Yes.
Murder for your sister.
Oh, shit.
Aggravated assault on your father for trying to shoot him as well. And then possession of a weapon here in the commission of a felony, okay? You expected all that though, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're gonna move forward with the charges. And I want to let you know that that's, as of right now, what you're gonna be charged with, okay? So just hang tight. Someone will be with you shortly, and we'll get this underway as far as getting you transported to the jail and booked and everything like that, okay?
Okay.
All right.
That was the easiest
Tragically,
interrogation.
Ashley Kim succumbed to her injuries before the paramedics arrived.
Damn. I mean, he did say she was dead. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. R.I.P. baby girl. Goddamn.
Emergency services attempted to resuscitate her, but they were unsuccessful. She was declared dead on the scene shortly after Sonny was arrested. In our conversation with Sonny's parents, they remembered their daughter fondly.
She was the pretty girl that was
Nice.
unmistakably not a mean girl.
Yeah, she wasn't a mean girl. She had a good heart. Good
There's a lot of people that spoke at her funeral that said, you know, Ashley didn't have to be nice to me, but she did. She didn't hold grudges.
She was a free bird, free spirit.
She was a free spirit. She was.
Full of love. You know, love's the
She
greatest
was.
power, and she was full of love.
She was.
Full of
She was very kind, very loving. Like I said, everybody loved Ashley.
She loved absurd things. Oh, she had
She did.
she had a terrible sense of humor about, like, what is it called? A dark sense of humor. She had the darkest sense of humor, just like the most
I want y'all to know most nice people who are very nice and loving like that usually do.
morbid things. Her and a sister of mine too. She loved morbid. That's the thing I miss most about, like, her laughing, because she would giggle about, like, things that she's somebody you couldn't sit next to at a funeral. You could not. You'd be like, sit over there because you have me laughing. Everyone's going to be looking at me. Ashley loved people. She saw the goodness in people. She really, really did, so many times. Matter of fact, she's who helped me forgive my ex-husband, because I felt like he had really bailed on us. She was like, he wasn't ready to be a dad, Mom. She had such a forgiving spirit, and her giggle, I always will never forget her giggle. I thought I would at one point. I was grieving. She had a funny giggle, and she
Not
had
actually,
love.
I don't think. I think
And
this
to honor her memory,
is a year ago.
I choose love. I choose to forgive everyone who's made a mistake, not just Sonny. I choose to live Ashley's joy, because she had joy, because she chose forgiveness, because, you know, that's weighty.
An autopsy confirmed Sonny's claim that he had shot Ashley 8 times. She had wounds on most parts of her body except for her head, including her arms, legs, and chest. Despite the extent of her injuries, her death was not immediate. It was determined that Ashley's lungs had filled with blood, and she'd perished while her parents attempted to administer CPR before the ambulance arrived. However, her injuries were so severe that it was unlikely Ashley could have survived, even if help had arrived sooner. While their parents were likely grieving the massively traumatic death of one child at the hands of another, Sonny remains unbothered as ever. After learning of his sister's demise, Sonny simply checks his watch and goes back to talking with himself.
I don't know, because the thing is, probably, it would be kind of hilarious if any of these things, I mean, like, their R7 was like, yeah, Netflix 4K was only like on Windows 10. In 6 years ago.
It's like this nigga is fucking. It's like he's malfunctioning.
Something like that. By the way, it was the in Windows 10, sure, it can gather information, and even if it's not telling you when it's Windows 10. I can't say much about because we've seen some Blender deployments. Why Blender? I'm not sure what. It's got animation, UV mapping, and your
Even when officers arrived to take him to jail, he remains stoic.
Alright, so you put the hand behind the back.
That's a small wrist, huh? Christopher, these this deputy that's right behind you, he's going to take you up to our jail, get your fingerprint and processed, and get the jail paperwork started on your charges.
You searching him kind of crazy, isn't
Must
he?
be in your stuff,
Oh, he
right?
took the pant. He took the belt off. That's a little crazy. I mean, I guess just to make sure you
With
don't got
Sonny
shit.
detained, experts were left to ponder his blatantly absent motive. There seemed to be no reason for him to shoot and kill Ashley, and then attempt to kill his stepfather, Alan.
So yeah, she was my moral compass and my safety net and big sister, all of that.
Experts could not come up with a full explanation for his actions, but they did develop a theory. It was possible that Sonny's abrupt, out-of-character violence was possibly caused by a psychotic episode.
He didn't realize for a long time. It was probably 8 months maybe before he even realized it. Most people will not like my answer, but the Sonny that night when this happened was my son's body, but it was not his spirit. Sonny was not there. Was there ever any kind of emotion on his face?
Not for a year and a half.
And it was bad enough that he basically, while he was in juvenile hall, waiting trial,
for a year and a half, y'all noticed y'all son was kind of like this in the face, and y'all didn't say nothing. You know, this nigga's probably a Reddit. Nah, I can't even say a Reddit warrior. This nigga's fucking. Because Reddit warriors, at least they're fucking angsty and angry. This nigga was just. I don't know. He's buried in the screen. I mean, he's a fucking brony, but he was buried in the screen too long. I know that for a fact.
He had no taste. Everything tasted like burning plastic.
He had a psychological snap. Something happened. They explained to us later that everything tasted like burning plastic, all the food he was eating. So
the only thing he could eat was plain dry cereal. That's what he lived on.
Sonny apparently told a psychologist that his memory of the murder felt like watching someone else or looking into a parallel dimension.
I felt like the strings had been cut, for lack of a better word.
This is the textbook definition of a depersonalization episode. Although a psychotic episode is a possibility, Sonny isn't showing any indications of psychosis in the interrogation room. He may be talking to himself, but this could be due to stress or nervousness. It's not sufficient to conclude that he's psychotic. Sonny shows no signs of delusional thinking, and he doesn't seem to be responding to hallucinations.
You sure? Because this nigga talks to himself when y'all leave. I don't know, is he talking to something? I don't know.
His thought process is logical and coherent overall, though he demonstrated indications of a developmental delay like autism spectrum disorder.
Oh, shit. Oh, damn it, this nigga might be autistic. He might be on the spectrum. How far on the spectrum? I don't know.
Typically, psychotic episodes are preceded by changes in behavior that would have been evident to his parents or other adults, though this is not always the case. Sonny and Ashley's parents once again weigh in on this incredibly complicated aspect of the case.
And the thing I want people most to know is I know a lot of people have said since this has happened, well, what about Ashley? And why can you still be loyal to your son? I'm loyal to my son because, like I said, he was not there. It was not done in some kind of malicious intent. There was no fight. There was no argument. There was no fuss. There was only love between him and his sister. There was nothing crazy going on.
That must be crazy fucking difficult to deal with. And you gotta, I don't know if they have to prosecute against their son, seeing they were there. But Jesus. And like you say, this is a good dad too. You know what I'm saying? He still got love for his son. You know what I'm saying? After all that, and the mom too. They just, they want their kid to be better. You know what I'm saying? They want to figure out what's wrong with them.
Nothing funny going on. It was just unbelievable that it happened. And it's hard for me to even believe it now, even though I was probably the best witness that was there the whole night that I actually saw the most, heard the most, pretty much knew the most because I knew what was going on from the sounds. I knew what it was. And I've stuck by Sonny. Me and his mom have stuck by Sonny, first off, because we love him and he's our son and we'd stick by him anyway. This was not something that, was like in a fit of anger, or it was not a planned out thing that, that he hated her or he was jealous of her or any of the stuff that they tried to say. They tried to say that he was jealous because she was outgoing and he wasn't.
I was a single mom, and my ex-husband, I didn't have the money. And this wonderful man wasn't in my life yet. And I think back about the time she had to babysit, because I couldn't afford a babysitter and be at my shop. Because she babysat him, he holds so many character traits of her. And I know other people want him destroyed, but he's all I have left of her.
Additionally, while awaiting trial at Regional Youth Detention Center, Sonny reportedly harmed himself multiple times by slamming his head into the wall and biting himself so hard that he broke a tooth.
Oh shit. Homie was fucking tweaking.
Eventually, he was diagnosed by several doctors with Asperger's, along with undisclosed disorders that are similar to schizophrenia. As a result of this potential diagnosis, Sonny's defense team attempted to have his confession dismissed, claiming that it was not given when he was of sound mind. The judge ruled that while the diagnosis could be valid, a psychotic episode or any of Sonny's other diagnoses would not impede his intelligence. He allowed the video of Sonny's interrogation to be played in full. The Brazels were not pleased by this decision and maintained that some aspects of the case were mishandled from the beginning.
A few minutes later, an investigator showed up and he was explaining the situation to me. He said, you know, we're going to take him down. He said, but we can't speak to him until his parents get there, you and your wife get there.
It's crazy. They put him in the car. I never saw that, but I was in the front yard.
Right. So they had already put him in the car by this time. They said, you know, they explained that they had to take him, you know, to, I guess, Columbia County Jail or whatever it was. So they took him to jail and said, as soon as we finish up here, and so, you know, we're going to call you and you'll have to come down so we can interview him, your son.
But as you saw in the earlier footage, neither parent was present for Sonny's interrogation.
Yeah, but by 8 o'clock, we realized they're not going to talk to us at all. And so it's weeks before we can get any conversation with them. They even to get Sonny a public defender because he went into the indictment with no attorney.
It was
no parental support, nothing. He was in there on his own, but we were begging to try to go, but they wouldn't let us.
It was probably, what, a year later before we actually saw the video? The first court session that we went to, we immediately started calling the police department and pretty much, you know, got no answers. They wouldn't.
That's fucking wild. That this is how you know they love their son, bro. Despite after all that, they still wanted to like be there for him and like help him through it, and you know, get in the best defense they probably could to just figure out what was wrong with their son instead of being mad that, you know, he killed, you know, basically their daughter, and you know, his sister. And not, you know, saying no remorse about it. And, you know, potentially about to kill him, too. You know, he was about to kill all of you. And y'all still, that's love, bro. That's crazy. It's, I don't know. It's love. They love this boy.
Really tell us anything?
They told us that we couldn't talk to them because they charged him as an adult. And do you know that they didn't even give him a public defender for 4 weeks?
Ultimately, in July of 2000.
Oh shit, this nigga look like he's on Demon Time. Oh shit, that mugshot is wild. That's a hard ass mugshot.
2019, Sonny pleaded guilty by reason of mental illness to murder, aggravated assault, and 2 counts of possession of a firearm. He was sentenced to life in prison, plus 25 years, but will be eligible for parole in 30 years. Because he was convicted by reason of mental illness, he will continue to receive psychological counseling during that time. Sonny's parents continue to stand by him, and despite the terrible tragedy, the family has remained close.
And he tells us all the time that he is very aware and very grateful that we're still his parents and that we love him and support him, because he knows that there are a lot of people in there that lost all of their family ties and everything whenever whatever they did happened.
He treasures it.
He said, I want y'all to know, he said, you can't ever know, he said, how much that I appreciate it and everything. He said, that you're still my mom and dad, you still support me, you never threw me away, you know, you never.
And he says he works so hard in there every day to be worthy of that.
Right.
Damn. That's sad, bro. That's a sad case.